Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep inside the modern factory because there's a quiet battle happening on every production floor, and it's what separates the winners from the losers. But here's the thing, it's not a fight between bigger machines or faster robots. It's a battle for better decisions. It all starts with a question that, on the surface, sounds incredibly simple. Every single day, a factory manager somewhere has to ask, what should we produce today? Seems easy enough, right? But the answer to that one question pretty much determines the fate of the entire operation. And then, right on top of that, you've got this layer of complexity. Okay, we know what to make, but how much? If you make too much, you're just burning money on waste and storage. But if you make too little, well, you're gonna miss deadlines and you're gonna have some very unhappy customers. It is a razor-thin balancing act. And finally, this might be the trickiest part of all. In what order do we do it? Which job do you run first? Because if you get that sequence wrong, you create these massive bottlenecks. You waste precious time changing over machines, and the whole production line can just grind to a halt. So you put those three things together: what to make, how much, and in what order. This daily decision, it's not just a schedule on a whiteboard. It is the central control system. It's the very nerve center of the factory. It impacts everything, from your costs and how fast you deliver, to your overall efficiency, and of course, whether your customers are happy. And when it goes wrong, the dominoes fall, and they fall hard. A single miscalculation isn't just a little hiccup. No, it can trigger this cascade of failures. We're talking painful delays, warehouses packed with stuff nobody wants, expensive machines just sitting there doing nothing, and ultimately broken promises to your customers. The stakes, they're incredibly high. So, if this is such a huge deal, how have factories traditionally handled it? Well, for decades, they've relied on a pretty well-established playbook, a very human-led process for planning everything out. Let's take a look at how that classic model actually works. So before any plan gets made, a planner has to gather 4 key pieces of intel. First, you've got the actual customer orders you have to get out the door. Second, you look at demand forecasts to try and predict what people are going to want next. Third, you got to check your inventory. What raw materials do we have? What finished goods are on the shelves? And finally, you have to know your capacity. What can our machines and our people realistically get done today? All of that data gets fed into this big long-term plan, something called the Master Production Schedule, or MPS. But that's just the 30,000-foot view. The real work, the really hard part, is translating that big picture strategy into a detailed minute-by-minute action plan for that specific day. And traditionally, that daily plan follows one of 2 main philosophies. First, there's make to stock. That's where you're just making stuff to fill up your warehouse based on what you think people will buy. Think of something with predictable demand, like toothpaste. The other way is make to order. That's where you don't build a single thing until a customer actually places an order. That's for your custom stuff, like a tailored suit or a specialized machine part. Now, for a long time, this human-driven blueprint, it worked well enough. But it was designed for a world that was pretty stable, pretty predictable. The problem is, the world we live in today is anything but. And that classic approach, well, it's starting to crack under the pressure. I mean, just think about what a modern factory is dealing with. Customer demand is all over the place, a critical shipment of parts is stuck at a port somewhere, a big client calls and changes their order at the last minute, a key machine starts acting up. Heck, even a spike in energy prices can force you to rethink the entire day's plan. Every single one of these variables sends ripples through the system, and it makes the planner's job exponentially harder. And all of this reveals the real source of the problem. When we picture a factory slowing down, we think of a broken machine, right? Smoke coming out of it. But in today's world, the real bottleneck, the thing that's really gumming up the works, it isn't physical at all. It's cognitive. And here's the paradox that's so hard to wrap your head around. We've spent decades making our machines faster and more automated. But faster machines don't simplify things. They actually create more decisions. Every little change, every new order, every tiny disruption, it all requires you to reschedule, reprioritize, and make these complex trade-offs. And it's all happening at a much faster pace. This really gets to the heart of the matter. When your decisions can't keep up with what's actually happening on the factory floor, the whole factory slows down. It literally doesn't matter how fast your machines are if the instructions they're getting are 5 hours old. The speed of your decisions is now the true speed limit of your factory. So how in the world do you break through that decision bottleneck? I mean, you can't just tell people to think faster. It doesn't work that way. Instead, factories are turning to a whole new set of tools and systems that are designed for one thing: to support and speed up human decision-making. We're talking about a whole suite of technologies here. Things like ERP software, which is kind of like the factory's central nervous system. It tracks everything. You've got sensors pulling real-time data directly from the machines themselves, automated systems that track every last screw in your inventory. And all of this information gets fed into these live dashboards that give planners a complete, up-to-the-second picture of the entire operation. Now, this is a really crucial point. The goal here isn't to replace the human planner. It's to empower them. It's to give them superpowers. These systems provide total visibility, and that transforms the job from one of guesswork and reacting to problems to one where you're making proactive decisions based on solid, real-time data. And in the most advanced factories, this is evolving into this amazing collaboration between humans and AI. The humans do what we do best. We set the big picture goals. We say, these orders are the top priority, or we can't go over this budget. Then the AI does what it does best. It crunches the mind-boggling complexity. It can evaluate thousands of possible schedules in seconds, adjust the plan on the fly as conditions change, and recommend the best possible trade-offs. So what does all this mean? Well, it means the entire competitive landscape is changing. The race isn't just about who's got the biggest, fastest machines anymore. The new frontier is a battle of intelligence. It's a battle of brains, not just brawn. So the things that give you a competitive edge now are things like the quality of your decisions, how adaptable you are when things inevitably go wrong, and how well coordinated your entire system is. The factories that get these three things right, those are the ones that are going to win. Ultimately, if you take away just one thing, let it be this. For the last 100 years, manufacturing was all about optimizing machines. But for the next 100 years, it's going to be all about optimizing decisions. And that is the quiet revolution that's happening right now on factory floors all over the world. And that leaves us with a final, pretty fascinating question to think about. As this complexity just keeps growing and growing, what's the right balance? Should these critical daily decisions be made by humans alone? Or is the future one where humans and intelligent systems decide together? Thanks for joining me.